we nearly saw something so very rare on Sunday Night Football. I say nearly, and rare, not completely unheard of for reasons that will make sense momentarily. As this football game was going on, the Chiefs in the first half looked like the thoroughly better team in a matchup between two legitimate playoff teams. That was kind of exciting and not particularly weird. Then in the third quarter, the Los Angeles Chargers scored 14 unanswered points. The Chiefs offense struggled in the third quarter yet again. That's not good, but it wasn't particularly weird. And the fourth quarter came, and it was tight there for a little while, but when it was all said and done, the Chiefs defense got some stops. The Chiefs offense eventually got within range, and then it had the chance to kick a game-winning field goal with 1 second left to win what would be their least weird victory of the season and one of their least weird victories in recent memory. Doink.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank. If you're thinking about starting a business or know someone who is, check out Emprise Bank's SBA loans. It's always good to know your options, and they can be your partner in possible.
It was a doink for the division. It's 9 consecutive AFC West championships for the Kansas City Chiefs. That wasn't even the biggest news of the day. The little hat tip, whose house? Rams' house here in Chiefs Kingdom for at least last week because they got the job done over the Buffalo Bills. So the AFC's 1 seed is as secure as it's been in recent memory for the Chiefs. It was nearly weird until Matthew Wright called backboard, and now here we are. The Chiefs are 12-1, champions of the division once again, and everybody ought to be feeling pretty good about all this, right? Right?
Sure.
So yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, two game lead on the conference standings. I don't know what there is to talk about. I mean,
I am the least happy fan of a 12-1 team with a 2-game lead for the 1 seed.
Sir.
Oh God, I can't do this. I lack the strength, Nate.
Glasses down before the 3-minute mark is really challenging. Make it quick, Nate.
Sir, your team is 12-1. The team you root for has Patrick Mahomes, and you not happy?
I'm very happy in between games, and I know we're going to get to that later on, so we can go to that just so everyone gets ready emotionally, spiritually, physically even. I don't know how you prepare to listen to me talk about stuff, whatever you got to do. I am going to read part of the introduction from my most recent article in the Chief North Newsletter when it becomes time.
Being married to my wife is the second greatest experience in all of humanity, only behind the honor it is to be a father of my 47 children.
Well, no, it was the honor of being a forgiven and saved saint, Josh, honestly. It's like you don't even listen to me when I talk sometimes.
I always forget. I still keep you too secular sometimes.
Doink for the division was a great call. That was, I don't know if that just came naturally, or if he thought about that in advance. Doink for the division. I was like, that was good. That was really good. Look, 12-1. They won the AFC West. It's so funny. It's so crazy to me. I swore this would never be me, but they won the division, and I was like, cool, hat and t-shirt game. And it's like, oh yeah. And now I finally understand. Remember when Bill Belichick standing on the stage when was handed the AFC Championship trophy, and he's just like, yep, and he just handed it right to Robert Kraft. I was like, okay. We're so spoiled.
For you, Rob.
Yeah, and honestly,
North Carolina in a few years. Can you what?
Yeah, what? Nothing. I said I'm going to hand them a 400-page Bible of how to look. Here's how someone had a really good meme on the Bill Belichick thing, by the way, where it's the monologue of
he may or may not have been offered or may not have accepted the North Carolina job. It is not official at this point.
Or he's leveraging it to say, hey, Jerry, call me.
No shot, Nate.
Hey,
Jerry, get out of town.
Hey, Mara family, call me. Hey, let
him retire to Jacksonville, dude. That's easy.
Man, I don't
call me, okay?
I've never understood people who want to die in their office. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never understood that. Now, my job brings me some fulfillment. I appreciate the opportunity.
Dirt, Seth.
I guess I've traveled, and traveling's nice. Imagine being a multimillionaire. You've accomplished everything you possibly can in your profession. You're 72. Bill, I got news for you. You got a lot more days behind you than you got in front of you, bud. Like, you know,
Hey, coach.
I don't want to be a bummer, but like,
hey, coach. I just want to remind you, he's 20, and he's more interested in the girls than our playbook.
Yeah,
well, he's going to go after Bill's
the same
girlfriend.
girls. Once I saw we were both committing to it, Seth, I figured let's just both make the same joke at the same time. The entire audience making the same joke. I think Nate very may well have set that joke up for us intentionally. That sometimes a lob pass hangs over the rim so long that two guys got two up for the dunk, and I think we collided, and maybe it went through. I don't know. But to your point previously, Seth, we will talk about the frustrations of a 12-win football team. Not a 12-win season, a 12-win football team that's played 13 games. And we will put all that into the context I think is really interesting. I tweeted something, Seth, before you ever wrote about that, and then you wrote that before I could go on the radio. And I went on the radio last night, and I talked about the exact same thing that you wrote about. So we have been step for step on some of this. I actually think we've found not really disagreements, but different ways of coping with some of the same issues to this point. But Nate, I want to know, with a twist on these last several weeks, what it was like there, because we saw the glimpse into the Panthers post-game locker room. That was not a happy group. The Raiders game did end in a defensive stop of sorts, but I don't feel like that was a very fulfilled experience. And they seemed happy with how that went, that they did the Panthers game. I'll give you, I'll at least offer you that.
Sure.
I don't get to be in the locker rooms anymore. But Sunday, was a little bit different. The opponent was better. The football at many times was better. The final score was identical. What was the vibes there? As it was a shirts and hats game, and I saw Xavier Worthy posting his on his Instagram story. And I thought, hell yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I saw Patrick Mahomes wear his to his post game press conference, and I thought that's the last time we will ever see that man wearing that hat. So what was the energy like? Good hats, by the way. Real quick side note. You don't have to, you can decide what merch you want, what merch you don't. It doesn't really affect me one way or the other. It's a bummer that it took nearly a decade, but I think we have the best Chiefs divisional championship officially licensed hat of this era. So do what you will with that information. What was the locker room like, Nate?
Yeah, no, this was great. I mean, it was better than the hat and t-shirt game 2 years ago after the overtime win over the Houston Texans. It was better than the hat and t-shirt game last year after they beat the Cincinnati Bengals to start the new year. Now, that's not saying much. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but it's not saying much at all, because this team knew they were going to be in the playoffs. They knew they were going to win the division. And at the same time, you have a wave of guys who are thrilled. Nico Remigio, thrilled that he is now a member of a AFC West divisional champion team, who, by the way, played pretty well. By the way, had more success as a punt returner than Kadarius Toney. Who knew? Who's
available, by the way? Bring him
home. So on one end, you guys that are very happy to get through this. This is still pretty memorable for Drew Tranquill, right? Drew Tranquill, very happy. Nick Bolton, this is Sunday. Get out my face. I want to go home. Same for Chris Jones. Patrick, for the amount of hits he took in Sunday's game, largely unscathed, like no bruising, no like
you need the full once over. How can you verify no bruising?
No limping, no like, hey, my body hurts sort of reactions after the game.
And he figured that out by touching him in every single spot on his body. Does it hurt when I do this? Does it hurt when I do this? Does it hurt when it took hours.
Evidently nursing any injuries. Got it.
Yes, America. as Patrick I'm sorry. Yes, America. As Patrick Mahomes is probably surveying his post-game text messages on his iPhone, I am looking at his body, saying what part hurts the most. Right. Now you could say that should be for Rick Burkholder. He's not that far away from me, so I mean, we could both do a consultation if necessary.
We keep inviting him on this show. He's declined every time.
And look,
I'm going to say that was a joke. Nate, yeah. I'd love for you to extend the invitation to Rick Burkholder.
Okay, sure. Now look, DJ Humphrey, not in a t-shirt, right? He is slowly walking gingerly, not a full pulled hamstring, but one that doesn't feel great, I imagine. He's walking back to obviously be reevaluated. And Josh, in a matter of mere minutes, somebody walked out of the back. And I thought somebody walked out of the back with clear intentions as to why they wanted to walk back into the locker room. And he was also not in a hat, not in a t-shirt. He had already taken the photo and then left, got fully dressed, came back in the locker room. Now I thought that was very peculiar. And I don't know if anybody else has said this on any other medium since Sunday's game, but I just thought that's interesting that as DJ Humphries exits the stage in a way that we believe he will be back, that, hey, he might be back as early as Sunday, there's someone else that's entering the room, entering the stage. And I just found it very fascinating because, this has not been like previous post-game locker rooms. Josh, who could that be?
I have a couple of
Seth. You set this up. Don't take offense to this. You asked for this last episode or last week.
Nate, who came on back on in?
I believe his name is Marquise Brown.
Whoa!
Is that Marquise Brown?
Ooh, that was a good setup.
That's a lot more exciting than Clark Hunt or Kingsley Suamataia.
Where did it hurt when you grabbed him? Did you give him a little squeeze? Did you like poke him in the chest just to see? Oh my gosh, the intrusive thoughts right there. Just like
look. Okay, hey. I know we've had accusations before about me peeking, which is technically my job, but not the way you think it is, ladies and gentlemen. But also, now we got accusations that I'm physically touching guys after football games. Come on now. That's too far, Seth. Way too
That's
far.
Fair. That's fair.
Now,
that's why I'm saying it should stop. So Hollywood Brown walks in after Humphries, according to you, dragged out his body from the locker room, carrying his severed leg over his right shoulder. Did I get that?
Seth. No, Seth. Nate was carrying his leg.
So all I'm saying is, why would he do that now? Why would he do that now, kids? Why would Hollywood Brown do his little t-shirt photo, go in the back, get showered up, get fitted, looking nice bubble jacket. Ooh, nice bubble jacket it ain't even snowing outside. I just want to, yeah, you bundled up, Hollywood. Okay.
He's a thin fella. I think he experiences 45 degrees differently than we do.
Yeah, him and Xavier Worthy would have to 45 degrees. They're like cling to each other for comfort.
So
Creed, come save us!
Right. So they doink their way to the division, and then why upon all these nights would Holly? And I couldn't write this in the Athletic because it didn't fit. It just didn't weave nicely into my story, which is why I'm bringing it to you now, ladies and gentlemen. Why all nights, Hollywood? Do I see you in the locker room dapping up Xavier Worthy, dapping up, having a nice chat with DeAndre Hopkins? Hey, yeah, give Nico Remigio his respect. Why would you be here now?
How aggressive was the dap? Did they do a full chest bump at the culmination of those? Did you see any physical contact?
Light contact, but enough respect was given.
Okay.
So no motorboating.
Are we ready?
Things I'll say just to get Josh.
Are we? And I'm just gonna fly right through it.
Ready.
Are we ready?
I'm ready. I said nothing. Nothing happened.
I'm gonna turn my camera on so I can get 3 seconds in the social clip of me listening to Nate very carefully. Go ahead, Nate.
Yep.
Barrel the camera this time. Let's really let's get our listening faces on.
Wow.
Camera or Nate?
Camera.
Yeah. Now, while some guys were in commemorative T-shirts and hats in honor of a 9th straight AFC West divisional crown, Hollywood Brown's season started on Sunday. And the reason I say that is he is expected to be practicing this week.
Whoa. Normally I think it's ridiculous when we do things just for the clip, but that's big news. That's big news. We've got DeAndre Hopkins being given wide receiver 1 treatment. We got Xavier Worthy, who's found a role in the offense, which is something we should totally talk about later today. And now we've maybe got a guy, all they need, Nate, you know what they need? They need a guy who can reliably beat man coverage without help. And you know what Hollywood Brown's best trait is? It's his ability to beat man coverage without help. So you're telling me, Nate, that he might start practicing this week, and there's a possibility that within a few weeks, the Chiefs' top 3 wide receivers will be DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, and Xavier Worthy?
Yes.
That dog will hunt.
Now look, it could happen as soon as tomorrow morning. It could happen later Wednesday, Thursday. The expectation is, unless something happens, since I was last told this, which again, I guess that's the case. Unless something happens, he's expected to be cleared this week. He is expected to be back with his teammates. Again, it will be a very slow ramp up, ladies and gentlemen, but the target date.
Let's calm down.
The target date, as I understand it, is Christmas in Pittsburgh against the Pittsburgh Steelers to get Hollywood Brown on the field in a limited role to try to help the offense yet again. Now, it could happen as early as next Saturday against the Houston Texans, but everything would have to go right. And certain circumstances would have to make the coaching staff feel comfortable bringing Hollywood into that game, again, in limited reps. Maybe, again, basically what we saw from DeAndre Hopkins in a sense, where it's like, hey, can you give us, 12 to 18, 20 snaps if necessary? So
I just want to
yeah.
When is the soonest that Hollywood Brown could be back?
Could play. The soonest Hollywood Brown could be black is against the Houston Texans.
Hold on, Nate. No. He's already black. How soon can he be back?
Hollywood Brown could be back as soon as Saturday, December 21st against the Houston Texans, which, interestingly enough, is the last home game in the regular season. That's the soonest. The target date, as I understand it, is Christmas Day, Wednesday, December 25th against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that game might be critical because if the Chiefs were to win that game, you would most likely shore up the 1 seed again with 1 game left to play against the Denver Broncos. Now that pushes things forward, of course, in understanding that maybe you play the starters a couple series, including Hollywood Brown against the Broncos in the regular season finale, because you will get a week off, a well-earned bye week before the divisional round, and then you can fully insert him into the offense in the role that you anticipate before the biggest game of the season. But I wanted to bring the context. I'm glad Josh asked what the vibe was like in the locker room, because there's a reason that man walked through that door, and I'm telling you the reason why. Because he is expected to be cleared. And the hope in the target date is Christmas Day.
Seth, do you have a cigarette? You're in Minnesota, so I don't have one here.
I'm sorry. It's one of the few vices I've managed to get rid of.
I'll take my webcam with me. I'm going to go take a cold shower.
Oh my goodness. That man. Well, also, I didn't know Hollywood Brown was black. Okay, I'm sorry. I was really hoping to get a spit take from Nate there. Hold on, guys.
He's not yet, Seth.
What?
He could be as soon as Christmas.
Marquise Brown is black? Interesting.
As soon as Christmas.
Well,
not yet. He will become Christmas. Man, that is
Black ice gets a bad reputation because, it's black and it's ice.
So
this is the same light bar. Sorry, this is a tough one. I'll try to give a little bit of context for the listeners as opposed to the viewers. This is the same red, green, blue, and yellow light bar that once upon a time I used as I joined the KCSN breaking news team as news had broken that the Kansas City Chiefs were signing Hollywood Brown. Now, since that time, Hollywood Brown played one preseason snap for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I feel like we're back. Not black, because I'm not, but I am back, and the vibes are good.
I wanted to tweet something. Oh, look at those! Dun 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 na 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 na.
If listeners are wondering, no, Nate didn't tell us that he was going to say that today.
No, why would I?
Why would he? Why would he? Because this show's about cinema. Damn it!
So here's the thing. He's going to need time to get into playing shape. He's going to need time to all sorts of things. But here's the one thing with him. He got hurt in the first preseason game, so obviously he didn't go through the rest of training camp, but he went through most of training camp. This isn't like a free agent coming in and having to learn the entire system. He got folded into the system during OTAs, during training camp, and has been around as the system has developed. So it's a little easier thing that way. I just we've been hoping, because the offense is still doing things that are frustrating. And, you know what? Just on a quick question that I suppose I should ask. Has Hollywood Brown by any chance grown 5 inches and 150 pounds and is interested in playing tackle?
Per my eyes, Seth, it did not look like he was ready to play left tackle if necessary.
Okay. Well, and that's fair. And when we'll see about DJ Humphries, which, by the way, I told everyone, keep your expectations managed. Also, that pressure stat that's going around about, he gave up like 20% pressure rate. Some of those were not on him by my eye.
PFF
he didn't have
5, by the way. Next Gen Stats gave him 8 to that point. PFF had a much more favorable view of that.
5 sounds right, and it was worse at the beginning than it was. You could tell this is a guy, he's seeing all this for the first time in a year against a real good pass rusher. But everything looked fine in terms of like the process. He was just a couple times. Also, Khalil Mack knew the cadence better than DJ Humphries did on that sack. He just did. He got off the line and DJ was like, "Oh!" And that was so that's going to happen.
He's played more snaps Patrick Mahomes than DJ Humphries has.
He has. So that's just one thing. That doesn't mean DJ Humphries was never going to be, a Willie Roaf-like savior. He is potentially an average left tackle to above average pass protector. He was last year an above average pass protector. He'll get there. He looked physically fine until, he didn't. So we'll see. And Morris, that poor guy's leg, although at least this time he got to play fewer snaps, right?
Right.
He got to and he looked, honestly, part of me wonders what that's like throughout the course of a game as it wears on. Because he looks worse at the end of games than the beginning. I imagine that hurts. He looked better playing limited snaps. If we can get that man some rest, I think he's going to be a lot better off. But in terms of the offense, I know we were going to talk about the division. It was really such a standard, basic Chiefs game that there's not a ton to talk about other than a couple things. But
if you want to get into the frustration, hold it for 10 more seconds, because I want to clarify with Nate on the injury front, because Andy Reid has now done 2 press conferences and told us jack shit. So I would like to know, it's a little frustrating because it's not how this works. Like Andy Reid opens his post-game press conferences with sorry for cussing, Seth. He opens with an opening statement, and now his new thing is that he reads from a piece of paper that someone handed him that has all the stats on it, which is very useful for all of us, like John Gruden's TikTok, just reading the box score and going, But he always says, even if someone left the field and returned, George left with somebody punched him in the hip, but he went back out there and he's good. He did not mention DJ Humphries or Joshua Williams, who both left the game and did not return. Hamstring for Humphries, Williams with a chest, according to all you guys who are out there getting info from the Chiefs directly on Sunday night. But We got nothing from him then. And then on yesterday, he says that DJ Humphries is getting an MRI while Andy Reid's press conference is going on, which is curious because his press conference was already starting half an hour later than it was scheduled for at least the third consecutive week. So it just feels like something that if the Chiefs wanted to fix, they probably could. They probably could make sure that they're giving us the updates that they're probably supposed to provide, to my understanding of these rules. But I'm not in the association, Nate, and so I don't want to speak for anybody who is. However, with that being said, despite the cloak and dagger routine, do we know anything about DJ Humphries or Joshua Williams' injuries? Because they're both pretty important.
And Josh Williams was playing pretty well.
He sure was.
Thank you, Kyle Coffey, who says, I don't know how Nate handles those Andy Reid pressers. They're awful. I appreciate that Kyle understands this. Here's how I handle them, Kyle. I've been doing this long enough to know that. Okay, we're getting into real football. When you stop even trying to give us information, okay, it's real now, guys. We're in real, it's real football. We have passed Thanksgiving. The calendar has told us it's December, and Andy Reid says stop asking. So quit asking. Here's the thing. I did see Joshua Williams after the game. Again, I'm looking from the outside. It seems as good as you could ask for someone with a chest injury who was going to be reevaluated again after the game. I haven't heard anything, bad on Joshua Williams. So the belief is that he will be available for practice this week. And if that's the case, obviously he will be in the lineup. But he looked fine. He was pretty much himself. I just think the training staff and the medical staff were trying to go through perhaps another scan. I don't know exactly, but I was told he was being reevaluated after the game because there was some thought, and I even tweeted about this.
That it lasted all the way until 12:30 on Monday.
I remember saying like, based on the way he landed, I wonder if the spotter, the independent spotter, said, "Hey, maybe we need to check him for a potential concussion." That was not the case. It was more chest related. So we will find out tomorrow, but I don't think there's anything major going on with Joshua Williams. When it comes to DJ Humphries, Andy said tweak, and I understand Andy Reid's choice of words there, which means obviously he didn't tear it, but it don't feel good. So now the question is, how do you manage it between now and the Death Star that is Myles Garrett on Sunday? Would I be surprised if DJ Humphries is limited throughout this entire upcoming practice week? No. I actually think that would probably be logical, and he would still perhaps maybe play in the game. But of course, as I said before, Andy would like you to be on the practice field in some capacity Thursday and Friday before a Sunday game. Yes, Seth.
So 14 minutes ago, Donovan Smith tweeted a gif of Forrest Gump waving.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Mr. Donovan Smith, 14 minutes ago.
Well, let me just pull it up.
He tweeted a gif of Forrest Gump waving happily. Now, who knows? I don't know. Yep, there it is. So, yeah, oh man. So basically, we need this show to last 4 hours.
Yep. Now it's interesting that here's where it gets difficult, Seth.
Hold on. Actually, Kenneth Young in the comments made a really good point. Your phone is on. You have Twitter on light mode.
Yes, I do that.
Oh wow, that's wild, Nate. Yeah, good catch,
dude. You're hardcore.
Yeah. what's wrong?
That's so bright, Nate. For the love of
Seth,
this is
Seth, Seth, it could be black as early as Christmas.
So shop Chiefs tickets and more with no fees. Plus, save big with code KCSN at ticketsforless.com, the official ticket provider of KC Sports Network.
Thank you, Tucker. I had thought about a break earlier, and then I straight forgot. So that was good work by you.
Look, sometimes I take it. I'm basically like choose your own adventure. Sometimes I have it on light, sometimes I have it on dark. Like, obviously, if it's later at night, which I guess it all of a sudden is nighttime outside, maybe I should change it back to dark. I'm sorry. I just know that, like, when I read things, I read them on pretty normal screens. Didn't know that this was news.
Yeah, no, it's just interesting. You're an impressive man, Nate, for many reasons.
Thank you. You are you saying that I shouldn't read the New York Times on bright mode? That's what you're saying. I shouldn't read ESPN with widescreen with black ink on it. Okay, I mean, wow. I mean,
You're not gonna get me or Seth to say anything.
we all have holes in our game, kids.
So we'll see what happens with Humphreys.
You sure you want me to go darker?
What did we all text to each other several times during the last year?
Hey,
Don't get fired today.
Don't. Can you go darker? Can you go darker?
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, Nate. That's not. We can go darker. Yeah.
This is you know. Nate, I just wouldn't worry about it. I just wouldn't worry about it.
Let's not. Please don't. Let's. Today is a great day to not get fired because the jokes are there and they're funny. But nope. So with Humphreys, we'll see. Morris looked better, only having to play some of the snaps, which is good. I mean, the reality is the Chargers have a terrific pass rush. They're a terrifically organized team. Their defense looks so good. And Mahomes, at least on one snap early, I was like, bro, you just walked right into that pressure, man. Like, you can tell he's still not trusting everything he's seen. The funniest outcome of this year, and I think this is on the table when you look at the moments when they need it the most and the directions that they go, there's a scenario where the Chiefs are able to, by the time the playoffs come, if they get that bye week especially, where you may have a Patrick Mahomes who trusts all of his receivers and trusts his offensive line come playoffs. And the funniest outcome of this season, by far, in my opinion. Now, obviously, I'm always rooting for the Chiefs to win. Mm-hmm. But you guys know I also love chaos. I also love that's one thing, like, after games is very fun. How did they do this again? I can't even believe it. It's hilarious. It's objectively funny. The funniest thing that could possibly happen would be if the Chiefs, come playoff time, suddenly hit like this. I mean, you can't even say like a sixth gear because they haven't even hit like fourth gear yet this year on offense. If they suddenly hit like fifth gear on offense and averaged like 30 a game going through the playoffs, that would be so funny. And it would be so great. And Hollywood with Humphreys, or apparently a very willing to waive Donovan Smith, which is ironic that he would tweet a gif of Forrest Gump waving with just his arms because Donovan Smith plays all upper body, baby. That is how that man wins. Like, if Morris could learn to play the way Donovan Smith does, he wouldn't even need that knee. The fact that Smith has had such a successful career being like, I use my upper body and that is how I win. Hats off to you, dude. Anyway, there's a window to that because little things, for as frustrating as the offense was against a really good, maybe the best in the league, Chargers defense, to their credit. There were little moments with Xavier Worthy and little moments with DeAndre Hopkins where I was like, you know what? They have a few easy buttons now, not named Travis Kelce. Mm-hmm. Like a speed out or drag to Xavier Worthy is an easy button they have. I was like, little quick slant, little quick back shoulder to DeAndre. You've got some easy buttons now, Patrick Mahomes. So this is all great news. I'm having a lot of fun this show. These are all good things. And I didn't tell one too many jokes.
Okay.
Let's cannonball. Okay. All right. Nate's got a thing. Okay, go ahead.
Let me just preface this again, ladies and gentlemen, or contextualize this. Donovan Smith has been willing to rejoin the Chiefs for a while now. The Chiefs obviously have engaged him to some degree in terms of like the possibility of him coming back. The reason you would have an MRI done on a hamstring is not only to see the severity, but is if there is a small tear in the hamstring. That obviously an X-ray cannot provide. If that were to happen, Do they want to go through this again?
Well, the alternative is Wanya Morris on a pogo stick, Joe Tooney, or Kingsley Suamatia.
So just keep that all in mind. Is all I'm saying. Just keep it all in mind. We always love a little cryptic gif on social media, but if Andy Reid comes out tomorrow and says, hey, he's got a little small tear in his hamstring, then all of a sudden unforeseen things start happening. Yes, Nate Dogg, Ethan Driscoll, ready whenever you want him. Ready. Just say the word, coach. Say the word.
Maybe they could start, and I'm just spitballing here. Kingsley looked good in the preseason for about 15 snaps. Morris looks good for about 20 snaps. Can Driscoll come in and play 20 snaps? Can we, let's platoon this. Have we thought about this? Have we thought this through?
Let's talk about Steven Nelson, Nate. Steven Nelson has signed to the Chiefs practice squad. It felt like that was one of those bits you wanted me to interrupt you on, right, Seth? You didn't want more Ethan Driscoll. Okay, good. It's getting harder and harder to tell, not just with you, with all three of us. The last few shows have just been sort of like a living, breathing bit that has also included the biggest Chiefs news of the last month. Thank you, Nate, for providing that portion of the proceedings as well. Steven Nelson signed to the practice squad. He's done. It's here, or he's here. It's done. Hopefully he's not done already. Although the way things are going, who knows? But hoping that there is a semi soon return for Joshua Williams. Hoping for the least amount of issue there.
Yep.
Here's what I'll give you on Steven Nelson. Just kind of a little catch up here. He's 31 years old. Catch dash up, not the thing Patrick Mahomes puts on steak. He's 31 years old. And frankly, last year, the player he was last year, which is not a direct copy and paste, the player he was last year, I think would probably be CB2 on this team healthy starting the season. Or at least would have been high in that mix. He didn't retire because he was a bum. He retired, as he said at the time, a whole piece about it. He had a newborn on the way, and he said he would stay in physical shape if an opportunity was to arise later on, that he would take that on as it arrived. Well, the reigning back-to-back champs trying to get a three-peat came calling. So 31-year-olds seeing how his handies are feeling. What do you think the plan is, Nate? Because I think this is virtually no risk. I like it on pretty much every level. There are 4 regular season games left, and this dude has not played football this season at all. Not off injury, but he hasn't played football in any point this year, and he's never played in Steve Spagnuolo's defense, which I don't think it's all made up when guys like Justin Reid say that it took him 12, 13, 14 games to feel fully comfortable in that defense. But Steven Nelson's job would be a little bit different on the outside. So where is he at? How'd that come together? What should we be expecting for him?
Can Steven Nelson in 3 weeks' time play press man coverage? Now let me tell you the target for Steven Nelson, right? The most optimal scenario is Steven Nelson, hammy stay loose, stays warm, gets in better shape, understands the defense to a degree that you trust him, and given Steve Spagnuolo's background and the way the position is played between now and this particular date, the most optimal date is, hey, could he be the footnote to perhaps Hollywood Brown's return on December 25th, also including Steven Nelson's debut as re-debut, right?
Curtain call, encore.
Now, again, it's a little different to go from wide receiver where they could sort of interchange you for a number of snaps. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins, you're never going to play 70% of the snaps, sir. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's a little different to do that with.
Well, how else can Justin Watson get his snaps?
Xavier Worthy got a lot. He's got a real wide receiver 1 status now. That's something.
So
it will be hard to watch Hollywood come back and take that work from DeAndre Hopkins, though.
Well, Justin Watson runs 45.
I almost got Seth to put $1 in the spare jar. I think I'm down $1, but I think I almost got Seth for a $5 there.
When you got all those options out the field, of course you got Jay White in one-on-one opportunities in the corner of the end zone. Of course. Even as a guy's breathing down your neck, Patrick, guess who's one-on-one in the corner of the end zone?
if they knew when Justin Watson's unstoppable sideline or contested catch was every game, because it happens once a game, he would be one of the most valuable players in football. Because if they could just predict when it would be, because it would be like, oh, or if you could like have it be a certain time, it's like, oh, well, we'll just wait till the last play of the game, and here we go. Look at how easy that was. But no, I'm sorry, but that just, man, that stressed me out so bad.
Like Steve does not want to platoon CB2, right? He doesn't want to say, hey, Nazi, get over here. Josh, go in. Or Steven Nelson, get here. But also, you want to get some snaps? Keith Taylor? Like, go ahead.
No, Keith Taylor's getting to be part of an experiment, which I feel bad for him. Ideally, so Steven Nelson, one thing to let Chiefs fans know, the last time he played for the Chiefs was in 2018, where if you go and look at that defensive roster, and like it had no right to not be better than it was. That was unfortunate. That was Bob Sutton's last year.
It wasn't in his spirit, Seth.
Oh no, I can't do that. So the last time you saw Steven Nelson was the Chiefs playing too high man coverage against Tom Brady over and over and over as he tried to cover Julian Edelman in tons of space by himself, and he couldn't. In the slot, mind you. Steven Nelson is not ideally a slot corner, for one thing, at least not in this phase of his career. My understanding, and I did not review his film because everyone whose film I review either gets hurt or the Chiefs don't play them for some reason. So I'm done, by the way. Not everyone. I am going to keep reviewing some people's film. But I mean, like, new arrivals, unless they, like, somehow break all the rules and trade for Myles Garrett, I'm not doing it because I keep hurting people or
You watched more snaps of Joshua Uche than he's going to play this season.
Significantly more.
Yeah.
So many more.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, with Steven Nelson, my understanding talking to people that follow and analyze Houston, he's been a perfectly competent and at times very good corner for them over the years. He is not like a pure man guy, but he is physical at the line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he never had much speed, so he didn't really rely on it much with his game. Spags corners don't really need to be burners, generally speaking. He's not a guy I think you'd put in the slot, but he is maybe a guy that you can bring in and be a boundary guy, while Josh Williams is a boundary guy, and you can put Trent in the slot and help staunch the bleeding in the middle of the field. That would be huge to have that as an option in the playoffs.
And even if he doesn't play against the Pittsburgh Steelers, you could play him the entire game against the Denver Broncos, say, if you had already locked up the 1 seed, to get him as many game snaps possible in the event that he will play some role in the postseason, if everything goes well. So, don't expect to see Steven Nelson against the Browns or even, on a short week, the Houston Texans. But similar to Hollywood Brown, they both may play for the first time this season for the Chiefs against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Christmas Day.
Let's go to the takeaways of the game that we have discussed. Seth has written about this in the Chief in the North newsletter. It's funny, Seth. Again, I don't know if I can ever prove the order of operation here, but I tweeted about it after the game, specifically using the word fun as the sort of inflection point of all of this. You wrote about it. I listened to it through the Substack app as I was driving in the D radio last night. And then I talked about it for a while. And we have arrived at some similar places on a similar issue. If it's time for you to read, then I guess read. If you'd rather talk off the dome and set this up, feel free. But where have the frustrating game days led you at this point? And why are they so frustrating?
So all of this comes with the caveat that the Chiefs there is no better fanhood right now in all of sports than to be a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs. They are right now, at least in America. I can't speak for what's going on in soccer across the pond and any of that stuff. I don't know what rugby looks like. I have no idea. I mean, I know what the sport looks like. Okay, I'm getting distracted. So right now, if you're an American sports fan, there's no better gig than being a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's all put that out there that we're talking about one specific thing. And that's where I started off my article getting to talk about my dog. and she's a real good dog. You guys have met Kiko. She's a great dog. She's a mostly heeler with a little terrier mix. Just a beautiful dog. Has the white spot. Looks like Bluey. Great dog. Really smart. Wonderful with the kids. Does all these. I mean, she's fast. She's tough. And great dog. She has one weird thing that she does where because where we live, we can walk on the Heartland Trail and there's no one around. So we let her wander through the brush and, chase some squirrels and whatever. And she just has a blast. She has this thing though, where like when I call her back to me, no matter what is between me and her, she will immediately sprint through and to whatever obstacle she can possibly find. Like what I'd written is there could be like a straight, clear path between me and her, and she would find a 90-degree hill with maybe an old barbed wire fence, almost run into a tree and go through brush that's so thick I can't walk through it, and just cannon through it to get to me. And I'm like, there's a path right there. And she does it. She's even gotten a few scrapes a few times. And so she'll be going through and then she gets to me. And she just keeps doing it. And it makes no sense. And it doesn't change the fact that she's a great dog. It's just the weirdest thing and kind of aggravating that she takes the hardest possible path every time. Anyway, let's talk about the 2024 Kansas City Chiefs. Because it's just like, and that's where this is every single game. They always win. And after the game is fun. Before the game, other than the existential dread of knowing that it's like, oh, I'm going to get so annoyed. And you would think knowing what's going to annoy you would make it less annoying. It doesn't. It makes it worse. So I couldn't help myself. I had to write about it because this is like a shared experience with Chiefs fans this year. We can acknowledge they are incredible. They are a dynasty, and we are lucky. And they are so aggravating during games. And I was like, why is this so aggravating? And so I took the time after the game. I sat down like thinking man for like 20 minutes. Why is this bothering me so much? Why am I so frustrated? When knowing all the things that I know, all the obvious caveats that they're such a great team, all those things that we could say here. And I figured it out. And so there's three things. You guys pick which one you want me to talk about more in depth. Because there's three reasons. I figured it out for you so you can, this is therapeutic, guys. This is therapeutic.
I'll give one where we ended up sharing a takeaway, which is regarding the stakes of it all.
Yes.
When I tweeted about it or blue skied it or whatever, I'm in all those places. You can find me now. Every good sporting event is. Every meaningful sporting event is stressful. I will be stressed out watching Katie Ledecky once every 4 years, and then I'll forget about competitive swimming as a sport. She's an Olympic swimmer. The look on your face had me wondering if I needed to explain who that was. Sorry.
No, sure.
So great tension makes for stressful viewing experiences, and then the celebration that comes with it. You don't really celebrate a blowout quite the same way. So that's something the Chiefs have been living with for a while. Which one do you want to expand on further?
I think that's the biggest one. And I'll wax eloquent on that at some point, maybe for a little mini time, because the stakes for every Chiefs game and every Chiefs snap feel historic. And they kind of are. Whereas, well, I'll come back to that. The first thing is something I've already mentioned.
It seems like you know what you want to talk about. You should just do it.
Yeah. Well, first things first, the incredible irritation of the same thing happening over and over and over and over and over and over, and then it happens again. It's the same thing. The pass rush doesn't get home if it's not Chris Jones. Oh, a missed connection to Xavier Worthy and immediate pressure that kills the play. Oh, a poorly timed penalty on offense and special teams at the absolute worst time. Oh, weird, a 3-and-out following a great defensive stop when you've got a chance to seize control of the game. Oh, man, the offense came together, but then the defense gave up a big play immediately. Oh, there's multiple chances to take the lead at the end of the game, and they didn't take advantage of one of them, so now there's less than 2 minutes left, and they got to drive somehow and get it done. Oh, look, it's 3rd and 10 again. You could, Harrison tweeted after the game, during the game, every Chiefs game is the same. And they are. Every single one of them. We were talking about this. We were like, oh, if Vlad McConkey misses, we look forward to the Chiefs winning by 1. I think you might have even said that they were going to doink it, Josh.
I had a failed 2-point conversion. Somewhere in the last few weeks, we have to have predicted a doink win, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So annoyance Excuse me, getting old's weird. Annoyance. There, now annoyance can make games less fun to watch. And when the same thing happens, you get annoyed. And even when you know, yeah, man, I'm so blessed to cheer for this team. Did Mahomes just miss Worthy again? Ha! Man, okay, I'm so blessed to cheer for this team. Man, Justin Herbert stood there for a long time before he threw that ball. Oh, they double teamed Chris Jones and no one else won one-on-one? Cool. That makes it annoying. The second thing, the aggravation. So this, Chiefs fans, you're not crazy. Don't let yourself be gaslit. This is annoying. And that's okay. It's okay to be annoyed while simultaneously, look, I love my wife. That's right. We hit that bingo card. Doesn't mean I don't get annoyed with her every now and then, or that she, much more understandably, gets really annoyed with me. So it's okay. Second thing, the aggravation of not living up to potential. You know who we don't get mad at for getting a C- in algebra? An idiot. We don't care. I've actually said to my kids, I said to my son Cole once, said, son, if you were an idiot, I wouldn't care. Because you
Which
just
is
wouldn't
something
be able.
I've never said to my son Lucas.
Lucas is very smart. So but
I'd like to apologize to Lucas for catching the stray of the first Keysor son I could think of at that
yeah,
moment.
no, you're good. I just thought for a second, I'm like, well, and so anyway, Lucas is very smart. Okay, it's just every now and then. Look, one of my kids is 18. You figure this out. I mean, have you met an 18-year-old lately? So here's the deal. When someone can do better, you watch Mahomes multiple weeks in a row. Oh, it's the fourth quarter. Oh, crap, I better do this. And they march down the field, game winner, and you're like, what? Can't you build the whole plane out of gotta have it moments? Can't you pretend that every drive matters? Can't you pretend that every...
No.
What a ridiculous question.
No.
It's like...
You want us... Hold on. You want us to... You we play extra games every year, right? And you want us to dominate when we don't have to?
But you wouldn't have to have heroics if you just did the thing like 50% of the time. Not even asking for the whole game.
No.
And so that it is stressful.
Hey,
let
the Lions get all they want. They have it all. You know what? Point differential can wipe it, all right? Because all that matters, as Eric Bieniemy would say, is the wins, the alphabets, and the ties. Okay. And when I look at the standings, I see two teams that are 12-1. Doesn't matter how they got there, they 12-1. And
I get that, but that's why it's annoying.
No,
it really
Seth. No. Look at me. No. All right. Now, the reason I say no, hold on. The reason I say no, Seth. All right, keep this between us, ladies and gentlemen. Don't tell Tuscaloosa fan this, because God knows what he's going through, okay? The reason I say no is you gotta feel something. You gotta feel something in that fourth quarter. And kids, what quarterback on earth sees his running back die in the name of the Lord?
That was awesome.
Moves to his left of these two other dudes and then says, you know what? I could just do a traditional get it out, get the ball out of my hands. I can do a Kirk Cousins. I can do that. Or feel something like the force flowing through me, and I could levitate over all these hoes and drop one of the greatest throws that no one on this planet is talking about. It was 3rd and 10, and he levitated and threw a missile to Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy's own mother said, did he just have to pop his fingers back in place? Yes, because you gotta feel something. Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta feel this. All right. And you wouldn't feel it if I dominated in the second quarter. No, did you just see what Khalil Mack did to me? I can only do this for so long. So you know what, Seth? In the name, in the memory, in the honor of Samaje P. Ryan's life,
which
will do the craziest throw all season. Josh Allen cannot do that. He can't.
So people that don't know, if you haven't seen it, that last play to that incredible throw to Worthy. Hey, shout out to Worthy coming back on that, ran a terrific route, and then got to that open space.
If Justin Watson did that, it would be proof that he needs to play more.
Yes, that was also Xavier Worthy's first target since the second quarter, if I'm recalling. But whatever. Samaje Perine saw Derwin James coming totally unblocked, and think of the most heroic scene you've ever seen in a movie. He was, I don't even know. He sacrificed himself in the name of a greater cause, knowing he wasn't coming out of that breach alive. Nope. He was Arnold ducking into the lava with his thumb up. He was Bruce Willis throwing Ben Affleck into the chamber and saying, I'm going to blow up this asteroid. I don't know why Armageddon's the next one that came to me. He was the I've got this manly man who refused to let a weaker soul get hit. Yes. He just... and Derwin James saw him coming. It was like, okay, well, the only thing I can do is hit this man so hard that maybe I go right through him. And those two, he literally took him, he dragged him into the abyss with him. He smote his enemy upon the mountain. He was Gandalf. Oh, that was awesome. And
then what did he do, Seth? He levitated.
And then Mahomes was like, oh, man, people might be talking about that block if I don't do something insane. So, and that's where I get it. You got to feel it. It was really cool. I do want to get to the last reason this is so stressful, because it is. And this is the one. So one thing that when people say to you, oh, you can't be frustrated. You're a Chiefs fan. I'm a fan of the Bears. You know how hard that is? Yeah, your team sucks. So nothing's stressful for you. You know they suck. I covered the 2012 Chiefs, man. Let me tell you something. That was less stressful because you know why? They were bad. They were so bad, and they were always bad, and then they were bad the next day, and then they were bad some more. Not you, Jamal Charles. You're a saint, and I love you like one of my kids. But the rest of them, there was, man, I love Jamal Charles. So that like, not going against expectations, underachieving, that doesn't apply to bad teams. That only applies to good teams. The final one, though, and this is something that I'm serious, I think only like Patriots fans, old school Cowboys, Niners, Steelers, maybe Packers fans would understand. The stakes are so high. The Chiefs, if they win it all this year, go down as, other than people, people will try to argue it because they'll argue anything. You will be able to say, the Chiefs were the greatest dynasty to ever exist. No, they have a three-peat? I'm sorry, did they win 3 Super Bowls in a row? Oh, the Packers did back. Oh, you mean before the Super Bowl was a thing? And they had to play the other conference?
When they were that eventually a team called Canton. Canton's on the schedule?
Yeah, Canton. Yeah, they were playing
Toledo.
Yeah, no one has ever done it. And all the conversation about Patrick Mahomes, and this is what comes from living in the talking head era to an extent. You find yourself thinking about the conversations afterward. Anytime Mahomes throws a pick, I'm like, oh, good Lord. Bills fans are going to have a field day with that. And it's annoying. And that makes it more annoying. But everything is so full of stakes, and you couldn't understand it. Bills fans, you don't get it. You literally don't. You might had your team won one of those Super Bowls back when, but they didn't, so you don't get it. Bengals fans, come on, of course you don't get it. But you just don't get it. Raiders fans don't get it. Broncos fans don't get it. Maybe Broncos fans could have at a certain point back when they were, cheating and, abusing the salary cap and stuff like that. But I don't know why I'm just going after everyone today. I don't know what my problem is. But the stakes are so high, week in and week out, that it makes the stress so much greater because if they fall short, it's just going to be some kind of I want so badly for the Chiefs and for Patrick Mahomes and for Chris Jones and for Travis Kelce, for Andy Reid, all these guys, I want so badly for Chiefs fans to be able to say, you see that? Three-peat. And that makes each snap feel like it's carrying the pressure of an entire legacy. That is stressful, man.
Not as stressful as hosting this podcast. We're going to call this the end of this audio edition of Only Weird Games. If you're watching live, stick around. We're going to be on for a little bit to announce the winners, to determine the winners of the Soul of KC raffle, benefiting Operation Breakthrough. We'll have more on that coming up. I guess we won't be able to tell you more about it on Thursday, but we'll have some fun things coming out from KCSN showing exactly how that money gets put to good use. So we will do that next live here on the exact same show feed going into the after we wrap here. We'll keep going live on this video feed with the raffle results, but the audio edition, it wouldn't be very fun to watch a digital wheel spin for 15 minutes. So the audio audience, the listening section of our voyeurs, I hope that we've given you everything you could ask for and more. Nate, get us out of here.
Two things, ladies and gentlemen. The first is, kids, here we go. It's Christmas. That means Topsy Popcorn. I am the person who reads Twitter in light mode, and I got a long way to go, guys. I got a long way to go between now and Christmas.
Wow, is that spicy as cinnamon?
Yeah, that's cinnamon. I love some red cinnamon Topsy's popcorn during Christmas time. And lastly, before we get to the raffle real quick, I got to check a Taylor Legacy lineage event off my bucket list. So I'm going to show a photo because, fellas, I got to throw the ball to my son in the parking lot an hour before kickoff. And then this young man got to watch the Chiefs for the first time in Arrowhead Stadium as divisional champions. That is my
Look at that.
wife and kid. First time in Arrowhead for a regular season game. So, yeah, it was great. I didn't want to get too father-son emotional, but it was pretty cool to just, in a suit jacket, throw my ball to my son before his first ever regular season Chiefs game. And Seth, you can be thankful that when they introduced Chris Jones, he screamed like a mad person, like a crazy person. It was pretty great. So
love it.
It was pretty great. It was wonderful. And he got to see the doink right in front of him. Amazing. So it's amazing. Yeah. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to Hayden. Hope it's a memory he never forgets. And I guess we could tell people who won what now, Mr. Brisco.
Well, Tucker's got to do the thing where we go to this, and then I'm going to ask, hey, Nate, how are Hayden's ball skills? Because I think they could use a corner.
He can backpedal. I'll give you that.
That serves you well in marriage and in life.
Great.
Now, there's not an actual end to this point now, so Seth was like, well, I can get a word in too. We could do this forever, but as we do, now we officially begin the raffle portion of all of this. Tucker is here. Hey, Tucker. And Tucker will have a wheel to provide as well. Tucker, what else do we need to know here about picking the winners from the Soul of KC raffle?
Yeah, I kind of wish that this was an auction so I could be an auctioneer and I get to do that because I kind of want to do that, but there's no auction involved.
Next year,
also,
BJ?
Yes. Also, again, a good disclaimer. My computer might blow up because when I throw this wheel in here, you are going to see how many names are on this wheel.
Yeah.
My computer is already lagging as I have thrown the wheel in.
Tucker, I hate to take away your screen time, but if I was you, I'd just go ahead and do that as the voice of God because your video is not providing a whole lot of frames of the Tucker D. Franklin experience.
I see many names.
Hear me.
Shout out to Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
It is now spinning. Yeah, we can't hear you, Tucker. You're just kind of a stop motion movie visually.
No, that's fine. I don't care how I look. I just want to make sure that you can hear me because I feel like I'm gonna give you some funny stuff. I'm trying to protect the bandwidth
here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I only have one tab open, which is also kind of a problem. But anyway, let's
The
let's
D
go.
stands for moving mountains with molehills.
Yeah, golly.
I don't get that
Um,
joke. I'm bad at it.
No, it's supposed to not be a D. That's the joke of the whole
Oh.
thing. Yeah,
I think
that's the
I think
joke.
there's wiggle room to it, but is
Yeah.
it spinning, Tucker? I can't tell.
So
I
kind of. There's 1,500 entries in here. 1,530 is what I got here on the official count here. Christian Gumminger sent me some. Nearly 140 donors purchased. 1,530 raffle tickets. So
Wow,
I appreciate everybody. The first one, you know what, fellas? I think we should save like the Patrick Mahomes and the Chris Jones signed jerseys. Patrick Mahomes signed mini helmet for last. So let's
Sure.
start with some gift cards. How about that?
Let's do it.
That sounds great.
Start with the $50 gift card to Third Street Social. Don't know why I started with that one in the middle of the list, but that's what I started with. There's two winners here, so we're gonna rapid fire get through these two winners. You
I'm
guys can
afraid
hear
your
it.
computer's going to start a rapid fire.
Matthew Shell.
Matthew
Hey!
Shelp, first winner of the gift card.
Shout out
just
to
said.
Matthew Shelp. Thank you for giving.
Matthew, thanks for shelping.
Yes.
Nice.
I think we ran into this last time. I think I remove all
why do-
instances.
Why do my kids think you're so funny? Ugh, it still bothers me.
I don't know if one person is eligible for more or not, Tucker. That's above my pay grade. Hey, Tucker, do you hit remove or remove all instances?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we do remove all instances. That's what I think.
All
we've done in
right.
the past. Thank you, Matthew, for your helping. We're gonna do another $50 gift card here for Third Street Social. I had my anniversary dinner here actually.
Ooh. I bet it was delicious. Andrew Schindler.
Nope.
Thank you for
Andrew Schindler. Congratulations.
Is that what I said?
They didn't quite make it out that way, but that's all right. We're close.
Andrew Schindler, congratulations. $50. It sounds like a lovely date night or a night for you to eat a ton of food that's just
That's
yours.
right. That's right.
That's a great point. That's a great point. All right, let's get to the holiday bourbon pack. The holiday bourbon pack here. Thank you, Andrew Schindler, for your donation. Don't want to be on that list. Let's see. Next up here.
Tucker, I was just about to say that I was thinking I might do a joke about everybody's name, and then I stopped there. Beth Hayden, congratulations.
Nice.
Beth Hayden. Woo!
Beth coming
Beth
in.
has done more for the Chiefs this year than Kamal Hadden,
Oh my god.
or at least for Kansas City.
Wow.
God
It's just-
dang.
It's true. It's true. He didn't,
Oh
didn't make it out of the
my
training
God.
camp. That's still here.
Wow. Beth's
All right, let's
still
go
here.
let's do the Bobby Witt Jr. art by Caitlin Snelling. Phenomenal artist in Kansas City. Bobby Witt Jr. art. Man, this wheel is struggling. Jackie Virgo.
Jackie Virgo. Isn't Virgo a sign as well?
It is.
Yeah, it
I
is.
mean, it is. Yeah.
Do you know what months it is?
I'm not as up to date on the occult as I used to be, but
I'm not. I don't know either. I was just hoping I could get one.
yeah, I think I'm
What
a
was that?
Pisces.
You don't know what you are, Seth?
I think I'm a Pisces. I think that's March, right?
You're Pisces. Something.
Oh
You're
my
hey,
God.
hey, Seth,
Pisces.
you're like you're the last thing of Pisces.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of pie, here's we're spinning for the Session Taco Tailgate Pack.
Fine, I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna start working out a little more, man.
Don't take
We've
it that
reached the
way.
point. The jokes aren't as funny at this
Hey,
point.
Lucas Burger, congratulations, Seth. You know that's the last thing a burger sees. Just suggested that someone spend a $50 gift card eating only for themselves.
if this
I
next
just-
person has a last name Pizza,
can I get-
I'm logging off.
Congratulations,
Can I-
Sam Hot
Lucas
Dog.
Burger, congratulations. Thank you for contributing, Lucas. Even if
Can
your
I get-
name resulted in
Can I
me
get
getting hurt.
two eating utensils too? Not just for me.
$100 gift card to the Capitol Grill coming up right
Capitol
here.
Grill.
Phenomenal restaurant. I love that
Oh,
restaurant.
so about half as much as I'd need to finish a
Mhm.
meal.
Mm-hmm.
$100 gift card, Capital.
Name's not. I heard cheering, but the name is not native to the stream yet.
Garrett Kale didn't show up.
Garrett Cale. There we go.
Garrett
Cale.
Yeah. Oh, see, stop beating me to my jokes, Josh.
Sorry.
Golly, if anyone's going to make fun of my terrible eating habits, it's going to be me. And kale is actually kind of delightful when you salt it and put it in the oven there. It's like eating chips, but healthy. Except for the gallon of salt and vegetable oil. But
what's
It would have
next,
been
Tucker?
so much easier. It would have been so much easier if I just would have went in order. I didn't though. So here we go. We have 2 winners for this $100 gift card to the Red Door Grill. Rapid fire, Red Door Grill in Kansas City. 6 phenomenal locations.
Yeah.
Who do we got?
that's one more than 5.
It's a great
I'm
point.
great at-
I leave room
I'm
for
great
Seth
at
to make
filler.
A joke and
But
Andrew
Russell. Hey, congratulations, Andrew Russell. Your last name confuses me. Andrew, are you sure? Do you know that that's a first name?
If his name was Andrew Brussel, Seth wouldn't have announced it. Go ahead, Tucker.
I'm trying to buy Tucker time here. Golly,
I
this is going really
appreciate it.
poorly for me.
Hey,
This is-
Brent.
Brent Shepard.
Shepard.
Interestingly enough, shepherds are what guide around all the lambs that I eat.
I was
Whole.
gonna say that
Congratulations, Brent.
sees Seth coming and it gets nervous.
$50 gift card to BB's Barbecue. Here we go.
Nice. Let's do it. $50 gift card to BB's Barbecue. Please don't.
That's weird. This one says Seth Keysor.
Mark Kirby.
Mark
Kirby.
Kirby. I'll tell you what, Mark. You
Kirby.
take Seth to a barbecue restaurant, he's gonna inhale everything around him like the little round pink guy he is.
Actually
This is-
insane how many of these names you can make jokes with.
Yeah,
pretty
no, this is just so everyone's aware as we do this. This has nothing to do with your name. Your name is fine. This has everything to do with me.
Is it?
Well,
Cookie
lot of people-
Society gift card, courtesy of our friend Jeff Allen.
hey,
there you
Cookie
go.
Society, Jeff Allen,
want
2
some
incredible
cookies.
things, one place. Let's see it. Cookie Society, Stan
Oh,
Parks. Stan
Parksy.
Parks, congratulations. You are going to enjoy those so much.
Parksy got some biscuitsy. All right, let's go.
Standing is actually Seth's favorite thing to do in a park. Just stands there.
We're gonna have 2 winners for the Good Old Days swag pack T-shirt and hoodie.
Hoodie.
Gonna get that rolling.
You can't eat that.
Cannot eat it.
You can eat
Well,
while wearing
You
it.
shouldn't.
You can put
Well,
burn-ins
you
in the hoodie
could.
pocket.
And I will put burns in.
Scott Hoisington. Congratulations, Scott.
Hoising a
That's-
ton of food. There's
I was
there's
going to say
something.
Seth would like to put a little hoisin sauce
Hoisin.
on the barbecue. Yeah.
There it is. Hoising ton of golly. This is just not
Almost. Here's another
great. Yeah, it
one.
was
This is the second one. Second swag pack.
swag pack. You can have as much swag as Nathaniel in a hotel bed. John Loveless, and you will
Sorry,
now.
Seth, it's John Lovelace. John Loveless is what Seth has to call him.
God.
Man, I really made a mistake reacting to that first joke. That was not a wise
I
decision.
can fill dead
did you
air
s-
and make jokes at your loose expense. We do this
Did you
for
say my
hours.
name in a hotel bed in the same sentence, sir?
Look, hey,
We
I
have-
didn't make you do any of that.
Seth, if you don't let Tucker say what the next one is, I'm gonna get mad.
We have 6 more prizes left.
Let's
These
go. We're almost
are-
there.
guys,
These
I
are
only
the
do
big ticket items. First, we're going to start with the Nick Bolton signed mini helmet. Rolling on the Nick Bolton signed helmet. Mini helmet.
I don't know how anyone's going to be able to
Right.
afford that.
that. Seth, I only do that at the combine, nowhere else.
What happens?
Glenn Carnes.
Glenn Carnes.
Congratulations.
Woo!
You guys don't have
Do
to be
something
so
with that,
excited.
you
come
jackwagon.
on.
I'm just waiting at this point for the mean thing to happen.
I was gonna let you
Glenn
have this one.
Carnes. And Glenn, congratulations on spelling your name with 2 N's, as you should.
It's actually 3 because of Carnes.
It's a great point. Oh, here's going to be a tailgate banger, as Joshua Brisco has called it, the Leo Chanel signed black jersey.
Oh,
Ooh!
Leo Chanel signed black jersey.
Wow!
I like that. Tucker went with the French pronunciation.
Yeah, that's feeling spicy. Anita.
Wow,
Anita gone calves? Gone calves.
Calves.
Gonclaves.
Gone calves.
Calvis is how the Colts guy pronounces it.
Calvis,
No.
is it? Okay, so maybe it's Anita gone Calvis. Anita G, congratulations. Seth needs I don't know what.
My calves are perfect. You
I
can
was
do
gonna say,
nothing
Seth,
with that.
Seth is frequently bragged about his calves. I
got
don't
great
know
calves.
what that says about the rest of him.
Hey
Well,
Tucker, quick question from the
yeah, you
audience. Did Huge Jazz enter into the contest? Did Hugh Jazz enter?
Yeah, I didn't see much of Hugh when I was looking over the list. I know Hugh Jazz is a big supporter of what we do here, but I don't
That's
see
right.
any don't see any Hugh Jazzes in the chat in the
Not looking very hard.
in the wheel. Yeah. Guess not. Speaking of not looking very hard, Shamari Connor signed a black jersey. Here we go.
Woo!
Also a tailgate banger.
Ooh.
Yeah, also a
Shamari
tailgate.
Connor.
Tailgate banging. What?
Huh?
Enough about Nate in Indianapolis.
Noah Springer.
Congratulations,
Hey,
Noah Springer.
congratulations. Noah Springer, good for you.
You
Congratulations on
deserve the
missing that
Shamari
flood.
Connor. You deserve the Shamari
Springer.
Connor one because Shamari Connor knows a Springer and he's launching it through and around knees all around the NFL.
Hardly know her. All right.
Hey.
Let's get into the three big dogs here. Justin Reid signed red jersey, rounding it out here. 3 more to go. Justin Reid signed red jersey.
Ooh.
Look good in the man cave.
Expenses.
Stephanie Renner or the
Stephanie.
She Shed.
How about that, Tucker? How about check your privilege? I've given Seth
Yeah,
a lot of strife so far, but you
That
said
one's
put this
on
up in
me.
the man cave. Congratulations, Stephanie. You deserve it.
Yes.
You
I'm gonna
earned it,
Have my
Stephanie.
jersey.
Unless you don't like the way that I've treated Seth over the course of this segment, and then I don't think you do. They can never take that away from you.
It's Reed. I need to put Jay Reed, not Andy Reid, so I don't think about that. Okay. Chris Jones signed a red jersey. Another
Ooh.
he or she shed banger. Another game room banger.
Chris Jones, Mrs. Minnesota Chiefs fans' very favorite player. Chris
Hey.
Jones.
Interesting.
She also weirdly also only watches Indianapolis.
Oh, of course it's Catherine.
Catherine
Of
Davis.
course.
Congratulations.
Catherine Davis.
She shed material.
Man, that is going to a Chris Jones signed red
On the she
jersey.
shed.
I am chartreuse with envy.
Last and certainly not least, this is what you all were sticking around for. The Patrick Mahomes signed mini helmet.
Ooh.
Big one, folks. Big one, fellas. The wheel is spinning.
Let's go. Let's go. Ooh.
No one is
Dorian
trying to say-
Delagiorthis? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know how many of those consonants you enunciate. But Dorian
Dorian Della Jordan not going to work here much
Seth
longer.
has gone to George's Deli. This is spelled like Dorian Deli George.
Deli George's is
And
how
I
it's definitely
gorged.
spelled.
Man,
Congratulations, everybody. And thank you for supporting
Yes.
the Soul of KC raffle, for supporting
Yes.
Operation Breakthrough in so many ways, for supporting us here at KC Sports Network. As you go, by the way, throughout the season, when you leave super chats and whatnot on these videos, it goes to benefit the KCSN Foundation. So a lot of ways you can continue to get involved, but an honor as always to do the raffle drawing and be here with you tonight. So anything else, Tucker?
No, we're shopping on Thursday.
Yeah.
Put that in your she shed.
They're perfect. I'm not even throwing up an insulate. I'm just in the